The ancient history, kingdoms, and tribes of Mauritania. Mauritania, located at the crossroads of North and West Africa, has a rich and complex ancient history shaped by diverse kingdoms, tribes, and cultures. This narrative weaves together the key threads of its past, spanning early settlements, flourishing trade networks, and the rise and fall of powerful states. The early inhabitants, hunters, gatherers, and early settlers. The earliest traces of human activity in Mauritania date back to prehistoric times when its landscape was much more fertile than today. Rock carvings in the Adrar and Tagant plateaus show evidence of a lush savanna teeming with wildlife, which supported nomadic hunters and gatherers. Gradual desertification, however, forced populations to adapt, leading to the development of more permanent settlements around oases and along river valleys. By the Neolithic period, circa 6000 BCE, 3000 BCE, pastoral communities began domesticating livestock, particularly cattle, and cultivating crops. These early societies laid the foundation for Mauritania's later civilizations, blending cultural influences from the Sahara, the Sahel, and beyond. The rise of the Berber tribes. As the Sahara increasingly became a barrier, the Berber tribes emerged as key inhabitants of Mauritania. Known as the Amazi, the Berbers were organized into clans and confederations, dominating trade routes that stretched across the desert. These trade networks connected sub-Saharan Africa with North Africa and the Mediterranean, facilitating the exchange of goods like gold, salt, ivory, and slaves. Among the notable Berber groups in Mauritania were the Sanhaja Confederation. Their mastery of camel transportation allowed them to control trade routes and consolidate power over vast stretches of the desert. The Kingdom of Ghana, 4th to 11th century CE. Mauritania played a crucial role in the rise of the Kingdom of Ghana, one of West Africa's first great empires. Centered to the south of modern Mauritania, near the Niger and Senegal rivers, Ghana's influence extended into Mauritania's southern regions. The kingdom thrived on trans-Saharan trade, particularly in gold and salt. Ghana's rulers created a sophisticated administrative system, enforcing tribute and maintaining order in their vast empire. The arrival of Arab merchants introduced Islam to the region during the 8th century, which coexisted with traditional African beliefs. By the 11th century, however, Ghana faced pressures from both the Almoravid Berbers of the north and rising rival powers, leading to its decline. The Almoravid movement and the spread of Islam, 11th to 12th century. The Almoravids, a puritanical Berber movement, arose from Mauritania's Sanhaja tribes. Founded by Abdullah ibn Yassin, the Almoravids aimed to reform Islamic practices and unify the Berber tribes under a stricter interpretation of Islam. From their base in Mauritania, they expanded rapidly, conquering much of the Maghreb and Al-Andalus, modern Spain and Portugal. The Almoravid dynasty left a profound cultural and religious impact on Mauritania, solidifying Islam's presence in the region. Arabic became the dominant literary and liturgical language, while Islamic law and practices reshaped societal norms. Medieval kingdoms and Saharan trade, 12th to 15th century. Following the decline of the Almoravid Empire, Mauritania became a frontier region for powerful states to the south, such as the Mali Empire. The city of Oudahust, located in present-day Mauritania, was a key trading hub connecting the empire to North Africa. Merchants transported gold, salt, and textiles, fostering economic and cultural exchange. During this period, Mauritania's tribes adopted Islam more fully, blending it with local traditions. The influence of the Zoria or Islamic clerics also grew, marking the rise of Mauritania as a center for Islamic scholarship. The Bonu Hassan and the Arabization of Mauritania, 15th to 18th century. The arrival of the Bonu Hassan, Arab nomadic tribes, in the 15th century marked a turning point in Mauritania's history. The Bonu Hassan gradually subdued the Berber tribes, imposing their language, culture, and political dominance. This process of Arabization transformed Mauritania's identity, with Arabic becoming the primary language and the Hassaniya dialect emerging. The Bonu Hassan established a tribal hierarchy, with warrior tribes, Hassan, dominating over religious and servile groups. This stratified social structure persists in various forms to this day. The Moorish era, tribes and confederations. By the 18th century, Mauritania was characterized by loosely organized tribal confederations. These groups, often referred to as Moors, were divided into two broad categories. White Moors, Bidhan descendants of Arab Berber lineages who maintained nomadic lifestyles and cultural dominance. Black Moors, Haratin descendants of sub-Saharan Africans, often integrated into Moorish society as vassals or bonded labourers. These confederations operated independently, relying on pastoralism, trade, and Islamic scholarship to sustain their way of life. Legacy of ancient Mauritania. Mauritania's ancient history reflects a dynamic interplay of indigenous traditions, trans-Saharan trade, and the influence of external powers. Its role as a crossroads for civilizations left a lasting imprint, evident in its rich cultural tapestry and historical landmarks, such as the medieval cities of Chinguetti and Wardain. These towns, once thriving centers of learning and trade, are now UNESCO World Heritage Sites, symbolizing Mauritania's enduring legacy. The ancient history of Mauritania reveals a land where kingdoms rose and fell, and where diverse tribes and cultures shaped its identity as a bridge between the Sahara and sub-Saharan Africa.